Welcome to Inside Tulsa Athletics. On our show today, we'll have Dan Hawk, who's the Assistant Sports Director at KOTV and host of Between the Lines on 1170 The Blitz. We'll also have Bobby Allison, the head basketball coach at Memorial, Eli Brown, the head basketball coach at Booker T. Washington, and then from our Athletic Service Center, we'll have Mick Wilson, Jen Sanders, and Marlon Houston. Stay tuned for Dan Hawk. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and our first guest today is a special guest, Dan Hawk, Assistant Sports Director at KOTV and the host of the Blitz. What, inside? No, not inside the line, between the lines.
Between the lines, yep, that's exactly right.
How are you making it today? You've got a lot of things to do today, Dan.
There is never a dull day covering sports here in Green Country. I'll put it that way.
I guarantee you didn't, and you guys do such a great job at KOTV. And
thank you.
I think especially for high school athletics, it's easy to go national, to go pro all the time, because that's big news. But it's really important to those kids and those families in the area to hear those names on TV.
Yeah, and our bread and butter, as you know, is covering high school athletics because we spend so much time, whether it's on the basketball court, whether it's on the baseball field, and obviously the football field, the majority of our time.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
Dan, how did you get into this profession?
Well, my dad worked for a tiny school in Idaho, as I'm from the state of Idaho, Lewis Clark State College, home of the NAIA World Series.
You bet.
And I got into the business because my dad was like, check out this TV truck. So I was 9, 10 years old and went in, and I was just blown away with fascination. And from that moment on, I wanted to be a part of broadcasting in some capacity.
So then you went to school.
I went to school. I played college baseball in Texas and Arizona, and then had the chance to kind of hone my skills at Western Texas College. They had a tiny studio on campus for the junior college school, and realized that I wanted to be a broadcaster. And so I got into the business from there, in school. And then when college baseball, my cleats finally hung up, I put a demo reel together, and my first job was in North Platte, Nebraska as an on-air person.
Well, I tell you what, that's out there, isn't it?
It is out there.
North Platte.
We had the farm report, we had the cattle report, you name it, in North Platte.
I actually was born in Nebraska.
Okay.
I came a month early. My mother was on a trip seeing my dad.
Okay.
And I was born in Hastings, Nebraska.
Yep, I know exactly where Hastings is at.
Hastings College, is where Tom Osborne was.
That's exactly right.
But so let's talk about what do you do? Let's go through a daily chore. You're at KOTV in the afternoons and evenings. You're on the radio in the morning. Go through a day that you spend in broadcasting.
Well, I usually wake up at around 7:45, and then basically from there, work kind of starts. Because I check Twitter, which has become the norm of what we look at athletics anymore, to whether it's the college ranks, the high school ranks. So I try to get the feeds from there, and then I'll listen to Rick Corey's show in the morning to see what he's talking about, so I don't miss something. Right. And then I head to the studio, and we do our 2-hour radio broadcast. And in that whole time, I'm kind of booking ahead for the next show. I'm still checking the wires to see what's going on locally.
Sure.
And then I'll go home for about a 2-hour break and let the dogs out, hang out with them for a little bit. And then I head back to work. And then it's the grind of doing the TV side of things, finding a story for that night's newscast, whether it be a high school story or a college story. And I'm either anchoring or I'm help reporting, and then I'm off to bed and starting it all. Starts all over again 6 days a week.
Well, that's the great thing about athletics. It happens every day.
It does, and it's never a dull day. And it seems like, especially here in Tulsa or the metro, every day there's some sort of breaking. Whether it's a high school kid making some national news, or as this day and age, the portal, everything transferring left and right.
In the portal.
It's a never dull day.
Oh,
no.
my goodness.
Yes.
So as you get into that daily grind, what decisions do you make as to what you're going to cover and how you're going to cover those things?
It kind of depends on what the big news of the day is. Yesterday, J.C. Hoyt became the new head women's basketball coach at OSU. So that was kind of our big story yesterday. Today, obviously, the University of Tulsa has hired Eric Conkle. And so you kind of start with the colleges and then it goes down. But then when you have some very top-level high school athletes, they are the news of the day, and they become the big story and the big headline as to what's going on.
And I think we're really fortunate
yes.
in Northeast Oklahoma, between the city schools and the suburban schools and the outlying schools, that you have a lot of stories.
We do.
A lot of kids
and there's just touching on like Tulsa Public Schools, there's so many schools, so many athletes, and so many stories that are out there that to me it's the find of trying to find something that not someone else has already covered, if that makes sense.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, I think, because the mundane stuff, the typical day-to-day stuff, you can get anywhere.
Absolutely. And we try to pride ourselves at News on 6 with the fact that you can get your national news everywhere, but you're not going to get the local perspective of the high school athlete anywhere else better than the way that we try to cover it there.
And you have a connection with that person.
Yes, we do. And a lot of them, they carry over. Anthony Pritchard, who's now a star for TU, we covered him since he was at the high school ranks, and it's been fun to see him grow. And now I'm in the same building that, it all started for him.
Yeah, and that's really great, I think, for him. That movie made from Tennessee Tech to TU.
How could you not want to have him stay home and cheer for him?
Exactly. People see him all the time.
Exactly.
But we'll be back with another segment with Dan after these messages.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hill's means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hill look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hill has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back, and we still have Dan Hawk with us from KOTV and 1170 The Blitz. Dan, as we get into this time of the year, it's a busy time. We got a lot of things going on. What do you like most about the job that you do?
I love getting to meet new people and finding out that every day I get to meet somebody new. Because every high school has all their own specific sports. But like this year, I get to meet Edison's head basketball coach for the first time and tell his story about his son battling back through some issues and whatnot. That's the part that I love the most, is getting to meet new people in the surrounding communities.
That's great. I remember when we met. I don't know if you do.
I believe it was at the Tournament of Champions, or was it at the breakfast?
Yeah, well, I thought it was at a game. And you were the journalist.
That's right.
And you said, I've got to go to 2 other games. Would you make sure and give me the score of this game?
That's right. I do remember that now.
And you gave me the cell number, and I called you, and from then we've been friends ever since.
We've been friends ever since.
What are the challenges in your job?
Not getting everything that you want done sometimes. Like, even if you have all the time in the world, there's some days that you still feel like you don't have enough time to get it in. And for our sportscast on TV, we get 3 minutes. And some days that's perfect amount of time. And then there's some days it's like, can I get 2 extra minutes? Because there's no way you can get it all filled in.
Well, my good friend J.B. Haney always said that we could get more sports if we had less weather.
Yeah, I agree. I'll just tell Mr. Mustache to, not have as much weather so that we can. I don't think Travis would go for that, though.
No, I don't think he would either.
Especially this time of the year.
Yeah, it reminds me of the time when I was on the football rules committee for the NCAA. And we had a timing problem because in 2004 and 5, they said the games were going too long.
Okay.
And that they had to cut them to 3 hours and 30 minutes because that's how they sold their advertising.
For their commercial spots.
So I'm on the football rules committee. I go into Indianapolis. We're sitting up there, and there's all these chairs behind the committee meeting. And I asked a guy from Carson Newman College, I said, what? He said, Coach, you'll see. Well, after the first break, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and ESPN all come in. And they're sitting back there, and the deal was, I'd gotten a plethora of emails about this timing thing is terrible, because below Division I, they don't have TV time.
Nope, they do not.
And that's what makes them so long. And our games, I had done some research, our games are about 2 hours and 15 minutes total.
Wow.
Start to finish. We couldn't get the popcorn open.
No, you couldn't. No.
And so Mike Bellotti from Oregon was there, and the coach at Auburn, Tommy Tupperville.
Okay, yeah.
Was the
senator.
Yeah, the Division I guys on the committee. And they both said, this is ridiculous. We're running football. We need to, and Mike Pereira, who was the NFL guy at that time, now he works for Fox. I said, well, let's go to the 40-second. If you guys go to the 40-second mandatory, then that way you don't have to worry about when the referee's going to do the hash and everything.
That's right.
It's 40 seconds.
It's 40 seconds at the dot.
So we did that, and he said, and if we'll take 5 minutes off of halftime, would you guys take 5 minutes off a commercial? No.
No. Not happening.
Not going to happen. So I learned that the TV does control that.
And time is very crucial.
It is. Well, how do you think sports reporting is going to evolve? We're more digital. We're more podcasts. We're all these things that are out there. And I really feel sorry for our newspaper people.
Yeah, I do too.
Because everything's instantaneous.
It is. I think it's funny that you ask that, because back in the day, you'd be like, radio's old time. Mm-hmm. Radio's like made a second wave, it seems like, because of the podcast. I think we're looking at a new era where podcasts and long form interviews are what people want right now. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be like you interview the Burt Reynolds of the world every day, but they want to have a name recognition where you're getting their insight on the program. And that's what we try to do, Scott File and I do on the Blitz, where we bring on a coach that can talk about a wide range of topics, and also the topic of the daily news as well.
Yeah, it's I see it getting more and more. This weekend, my granddaughter was playing softball, 10-year-old granddaughter in Norman, and we watched every game.
You watched every game, yeah.
It was streamed, right there.
You don't even have to leave. You can just watch
right there behind home plate.
And that's the way the future's going when it comes to athletics.
I think it is. I think it really, really is. If there's anything you want to tell our viewers, what would that be?
I'd say keep going to your local newspapers, go to your local televisions. We try to put on the best product. We're not the bad guys, or we're not the gotcha news. We try to highlight kids, especially in athletics, because without the kids, I don't have a job. At the end of the day, I don't have a job, because I look at it, we can always have college, but you can get outlets for college many different ways. When it comes down, if I want to cover a Webster High School basketball player, or an Edison High School basketball player, or a Memorial, you're not going to find that on the national front.
No.
So keep watching and paying attention to your local journalists. I think they're a big, vital source of entertainment and news as well.
Fantastic. Well, you do a good job.
Thank you, sir.
We really appreciate you being here today. And when we come back, we're going to have Eli Brown, the head basketball coach at Booker T. Washington.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. We're glad to have Eli Brown, the head basketball coach at Booker T. Washington, and Aaron Potter, one of his good players. Guys, we're glad you're here today.
Thanks for having us.
Eli, let's talk about the season a little bit.
It was a fun season. I tell you what, having guys like Aaron Potter and Cam Parker and I.J. Johnson and Lathan Boone and a whole host of other guys, they really surprised a lot of people because of how hard they played and how fun they played and how well they played together. It's a season that we didn't want to end. Even if we'd have won the championship, we still wouldn't have wanted to end. It was just a fun group of guys, and I thank God for them every day.
They did play hard. What I had seen in tape and everything, it seemed like that the intensity was always there every ball game. Yeah,
there was never an issue. It was something that we knew coming into the season that we had to really, really, really step up and never be in a game where the other team was playing harder than us. And we knew that was our calling card. And I tell you, Aaron, he was one of the catalysts in our effort to play hard, and that absolutely showed through.
Aaron, how did you feel about your senior season?
I don't have no complaints. Everything happened the way it happened. So I learned a lot from it. Even losing, I learned a lot from just losing that one game. It was a good season.
Sometimes you learn more from losing than you do winning.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You take it and reevaluate everything that you've gone through, and you wonder why.
Right.
So you have plans post-secondary school?
Yeah, I plan on playing basketball in college. I haven't made a decision where I want to go yet.
What do you want to major in?
I want to, if basketball don't work out, I probably want to be like a vet or something. So probably like zoology.
I see. All right. That sounds good.
Love the animals.
Yeah. As you get ready to make these decisions, now you have official visits set up.
Yes, I have a visit with Hutchinson next Friday. I plan on going down to Florida to a school sometime either this month or next month.
I see.
Sometime soon though.
Well, good luck on that decision.
Thank you.
It's one of those things. When I was a collegiate athletic director, I said there was always 4 things you really need to consider. The first thing is, do you like the players? The second thing is, do they have what I want to study? The third thing is, how far away from home do I want to live? Now, the coaches never liked me to say this one, but I said, and the coach is the fourth one.
Yeah.
Because coaches come and go.
Right.
You're picking your buddies and your education are the 2 most important things. So think about those things as you make that decision.
Good advice.
One of those things. Well, as you get ready to go into off season, how does that look for the Hornets?
We're ready to pick it back up. We're starting this week and getting back after it, and we know we got a lot of work to do to try to continue the success that we had from this year. But the recipe is the same. There's a lot of hard work, a lot of determination, a lot of skill development, a lot of time in the gym and the weight room. I mean, we just know that oftentimes we're going to be the smallest team on the floor, so we have to have the biggest hearts and the biggest work ethic.
Well, I would say without a doubt, that Booker T probably had the biggest turnaround in 1 year.
Yes.
Of any school in the state.
Yeah, we were fortunate to have such a good turnaround, such a good year. But and that's a testament to the kids buying in, the players doing what we asked them to do. I tell people all the time that I don't remember an instance, and Aaron may correct me, where I just didn't want to be around them and I just didn't want to go into a game because I feared them not listening or I feared them not doing what we asked them to do. I never felt that way. And that showed throughout the season. The camaraderie that we had as a team between players and coaches and just all of those things was just where they needed to be. And we can attribute that to the turnaround that we had this year.
Well, if you could give any of these people that watch this show, any of your fellow student athletes out there, some advice as to what it takes to get to the level that you are, what would you tell them?
Work, just work, man. Just work. It wasn't one time I was like, man, I gotta get up at 6 a.m. You know what I'm saying? But when you want to get somewhere, and you're gonna do anything it takes to get to that point. So just work hard.
He did that.
You want something to look forward to. You always gotta have something to look forward to. And if you look forward to going to work, then you'll do a lot better job at work. So, how many returners do you have?
We lose 6 seniors, 3 starting seniors, and we bring back everyone else. So 3 of those seniors played smaller minutes. So we lose 3 really meaningful players, Cam Parker, Ajay Johnson, and Aaron Potter. It's going to be hard to replace those 3, but we have Lathan Boone and Makai Chambers and Jay Nodes and Mike Smith. They all coming back. So it's Booker T. We don't plan on having any drop off. We just got to find a way.
Yep, that's always the case too.
Yeah.
And with the tradition, and I've always said that I wish that every one of the Tulsa schools had the same spirit for their teams as they do it at Booker T. It's unbelievable. Pep assemblies are incredible.
Oh my gosh!
You know, just absolutely incredible.
We had fun this year. It was a fun year.
Yeah, I'm sure. When you win, it's always fun.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Well, we're glad you guys were here today,
Thank
and I'm sure we'll have you back. And when we come back, we'll have Bobby Allison, who's the head basketball coach of the Memorial Chargers.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have the head basketball coach of the Memorial Chargers, Bobby Allison, and he has a special guest with him. Who's your guest?
The #1 point guard in the state of Oklahoma, Frierson's here, 2-time state champion and 5A state tournament MVP.
Ty, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Tell us about your career at Memorial. How did that, you played all 4 years there, and how did that work for you?
I didn't play all first. I said my freshman year.
Oh, yeah.
So learning from Caleb and Boone, and all them, my other seniors, it was good.
Uh-huh. And as you matriculated on through, you had great success. So what do you think about that?
Yeah. I don't know, really. I really don't know.
How is it being in the Memorial program as a player?
It's really good. It's special. It's good. It's nice to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Ty came in as a freshman, and he made varsity, and then he had to wait his turn. We had some great guys in front of him, but he practiced hard as a Red Dog every day, made the varsity better, and he grew up on it. And after his sophomore year was special, and then COVID took away a chance for a four-peat. And Ty was the leader on the team the last 2 years. Him and his fellow seniors, they've had to have 2 pretty much senior seasons. Mm-hmm. We had some good seniors in 2021, but that 22 class has been kind of they carried the ship, and Ty was able to land it and finish his career the way it started with the championship.
So kind of go through the year, Bobby, just kind of recap how you got to where you are. And
mm-hmm. Well, no, the season really started with how last year ended. We got that heartbreak against Ardmore, brought Ty, Killian, Braden, Seth, Monte, and Ronnie Dixon. We all 6 of us had a real serious meeting after that Ardmore loss, and we were like, we're going to get back here, but it's going to take work, and it's going to take leadership and maturity. Had a great summer, had a great challenging non-conference schedule, and we did a great conference schedule, and we lost all games but one to Dale City, and we knew that they were probably on the other side, and we just persevered, made it through, got better throughout the season. These seniors made everybody better, and then from that we got to take care of the one loss we had. So we were the only Memorial team to ever beat everybody they played, and that's pretty special.
Oh, I guess so. After all the years and the good teams that have come to Memorial,
no doubt.
That's fantastic. Well, how does it look for the future?
It looks great. It looks great. First thing of business is these seniors, getting them all squared away. I believe we have 5 to 6 guys that can play college basketball at the next level, but the state championship's not an easy button to get to that. So I think these guys, we're going to have a meeting today just and have a huge checklist of things we got to take care of to make sure they take care of business and they put themselves in a position to keep playing the game. And then we got a great junior class. We'll be different, but and we'll be doubted because we lost so much, but we're going to use that as motivation. And we got a great freshman and sophomore group. So we got a lot of pride in the building still and a lot of guys that want to carry on that tradition.
Excellent. What do you want to major in when you go to college?
I haven't even talked about that yet.
Haven't thought about it?
Yeah, I haven't thought
I think he's got a chance to be a pretty good coach. He's got a great
Yes.
he's got a great
Something I
mind
wanna
for
do
it.
right there.
Yeah, he's got a great mind for it, and he judges coaches as much as anybody I've ever seen. We'll be scouting a game, and he'll be like, I want to beat that coach. He doesn't even want to beat that team sometimes. He wants to beat other coaches.
Coach. Well, I tell you what, I spent 51 years in the business, and it was great. I never felt like I had to wake up and had to go to work. I wanted to go to work every single day.
Something I want to do.
Yeah, amen.
You're lucky when you have a profession like that, I think. So many people out there don't have that.
No doubt.
So what do? You go into off season, you take care of your seniors. How's your off season program work?
Well, they're going to have so many visits lined up in college workouts. We got to, map out that, and then we got to see what the grades and the weighted scale and all that for the NCAA, make sure everybody's qualified, or FAFSA, all those, the paperwork stuff that people don't even realize.
Right.
But we'll get all that lined up, and then we'll have some pickup games, some strength and conditioning. We'll just look to get better and push ourselves, but also we want to have some fun too. It was a hard year, but it was good. Hard means good sometimes, but it was. I want these kids to relax and enjoy it, but I also don't want them to forget that hard work is why they had fun.
Well, and it was a better year too.
No doubt.
Than what
That's
we've
so
had
true.
for the previous 2 years. I tell you, that was as tough a 2 years as I spent in all the years I was in this business. Not knowing every morning when you woke up if you're going to have school, if you're going to have a team, if you're going to have a coach.
I think Ty, you like having the fans back in the gym this year?
Yeah, I don't like the quiet gyms.
No, that was tough. That was one of the hardest things.
And that's one thing I'll say, Gil. I'm sorry. I'm so proud of this team because that pandemic, for Booker T and Memorial, and Hale to improve, and Rogers to improve, and Edison got better. The people that have no idea what we had to go through in a pandemic, basis. And for TPS teams to improve throughout that is a credit to all the coaches and the players.
It certainly is. Well, we're glad you're here, and good luck on your decisions you got to make. Bobby, good luck in the future.
Thank you so much, Gil.
I'm sure that we'll be back next year to talk about Memorial basketball.
We'll get
another state championship. And when we come back, we'll have Carlin Adkism, who is the head girls basketball coach at Will Rogers High School.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against a tough competitor, Plastic.
Don't trust those numbers on the bottom. You have to stick to what you know. Only bottles and jugs found in the kitchen, bath, or laundry. They're quick to pick up. And empty those bottles before sinking that shot.
Always empty your bottles before recycling. Score big by recycling your plastic bottles and jugs. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have two guests today. Carlin Adkism, the head girls basketball coach, Will Rogers Lady Ropers, and he has a special guest with him. Who's your guest?
This is Journey Kendler, our senior. She's been with us for 4 years now, and this is Journey Kendler right here.
Journey, welcome to the show.
Hi.
How is your, let's talk to you first. You're a senior, you've been in the program, you've been with Coach Adkism now for 4 years. Longer. Does it seem like longer?
Yeah.
How do you feel about your high school career?
I feel like it went by quick, but it was a good one though, and I ended it with a bang.
Yeah, good. But what are your plans? Do you plan to play basketball in college?
Probably go to Ozarks. So I got an offer to go to Ozarks and play basketball and softball.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you want to major in?
I want to be a nurse, but I don't know. I want to be a nurse or a doctor. I really haven't figured it out yet.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So somewhere in the health sciences
Yeah.
area. That's good. Well, Coach, we talked about when you first were on back in November.
Right.
And you told me, I said, well, how's it going to be this year? You said, well, I don't know. Well, the kids came a long way. You did a great job coaching.
Thank you.
And they really, I think, reacted at the right time. Talk about the recap of the season, and then we'll talk about the playoffs.
Like you said, at first I was just unsure. I was just unsure just about the commitment, of what we was going to have to establish early on to be successful. This group had went through a lot of adversity at the beginning of the season, and so it was so many unknowns that I couldn't answer at the time. Throughout the season, they just seemed to work hard. They kept working hard. They didn't get it at first, and like I said, they was going through team chemistry, team identifications. It was just a lot of different unknowns that we wasn't sure of, and through team bonding, through just believing in each other and believing in the coaching staff, they kind of started peaking at the correct time.
Sure did. I thought it was. As the season went on, it was fun to watch.
Right.
Those scores as they improved.
Yeah. Right.
So on. You didn't have that great of numbers out.
No, we just had 8. Just 8 of us. Yeah, just 8 of us.
How many are seniors?
2.
2 seniors.
2 seniors. Yeah.
So you've got 6 back.
Yeah, we
got
do.
6 back.
We got 6 back, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, talk about the playoffs as you go into the regional and area and so on. How does that play out as your plan? Did you want it to be that way, or?
Absolutely not. I didn't think, going all the way to Grove was, in our best interest. But, I thought that game actually, had woke us up and kind of told us what the playoffs were going to be about. We were going to have to play every possession, pretty tough. And, we weren't successful in that game. And then we had, Glenpool next. Which we pulled that game out. It was a pretty good game for us. We started kind of like finding our own identity, and then, like I said, our girls started kind of buying in. They started buying into what we were telling them to do, and they started doing team bonding on their own. I'm sure they did something that I didn't even know about. Like they just actually started bonding with each other, and I think that we was preaching family, the whole season. And I told them, we're going to be a family by the end of this. You're going to look at these young ladies beside you as your sister. And I think that just went a long way with them.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Johnny, how did you look at the season? Going into the season, do you think you'd make it to the state championship?
No. It was up and down at first. Not everybody was bonding like he was saying. It was like some in, but some was out. It was going to take all of us to go anyway, but they finally started bonding and taking what he was saying was serious, and it went from there.
Interesting. You play softball as well. What position do you play?
I play shortstop.
Shortstop. All right. So you're a V player.
Yeah.
Shortstops are a V player, and you'll be going to Ozark. You look forward to that?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Well, Coach, what does it look like for next year?
Like you said, we're returning to 6 players. We were fairly young this year with those 6, and I think that just coming off of the success that we had, if we can just start early now of understanding what it takes to get there, I think we'll be fine.
I think that makes a lot of difference. The experience in the playoff mentality. Right. There's really nothing like that first game in the regional, because that could be the last game of the season. Definitely. And the intensity that you have to play through that, I think, is a great builder for the future to get those young players that do experience that. So, well, congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Did a good job. Johnny, you did a good job. And good luck next year as you go into intercollegiate athletics.
Thank you.
And maybe we can have you back when you're a college athlete. When we be back, we'll have Jen Sanders, Deputy Director of Athletics.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Athletics is so important at Tulsa Central because it's an outlet for some of our kids there. They get a better opportunity to basically give back to our community.
At McLean, the sports is what mainly drives a bunch of the students to come to school every single day and work hard because they want to be able to come from the classroom to the field or the court and show at what they're good at.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have the Deputy Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools, Jen Sanders. Jen, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here, always.
Well, after spring break, had a great trip to New York.
Yeah, we had a good break. Good break. I think everybody got to...
It's about time. With the weather and everything that we've had, we go from snow to 80 and back to snow, and now back to 80 this week, they tell me.
Right.
So that plays havoc on two sports that you supervise.
That's right.
Soccer and golf. So let's talk a little bit about the soccer programs at Tulsa Public Schools.
So, yeah, we've fulfilled all of our soccer teams this year. We're excited about that. McLean's going to have a pretty good little team together. We're excited that they're back and with us again next year. Central as well, boys and girls team. And then, of course, East Central is going to be a big powerhouse like they are every year. Rogers is looking pretty good this year.
Good.
And then, of course, Hales, we've got a lot of kids that are out and ready to play.
Right.
And then Edison just had their green and white tournament. So, we're excited to see our kids and what they can do for this next season. And hopefully we can bring home one more gold ball.
There we go, yeah. How's the junior high soccer program?
Junior high's great. We just started the week before spring break. We had 0 cancellations, even though it was really cold right before we started. So it was a cold, rainy evening for the first opening games. But, we're excited. A lot of good kids out there. We've got our 7th and 8th graders together this year. We're hoping to at least maybe next year open up some new teams. And then we're working with the Dream Center with our 6th grade league. So we got a 6th grade league going out at the Dream Center, and most of our schools are working with those folks to participate on Saturday mornings.
Is that a spinoff from the YMCA?
YMCA still does theirs in the fall.
Oh, okay.
So the YMCA, we have a fall league with the YMCA and then a spring league with the Dream Center, and so it's been good.
Plenty of soccer.
Plenty of soccer.
Plenty of soccer. Well, how about golf?
Well, we've got some teams out and ready to go. I think that we've got folks that are practicing right now. I think and Webster actually had their first tournament last week before spring break. So excited that program's coming back to life. Yeah, and you kind of helped us do that, so that's good. And then again, just all the other schools that are playing are excited. Edison, of course, coming back from having an all-stater last year, and girls golf, hoping they're gonna do well again this next year. And then of course Booker T's always got a really good, strong team. As they do in most every other sport. So it's nice. It's nice to see that our teams are coming back, and honestly, golf's a lot of fun to watch. So you get to go out there and see those kids compete, and there's no defense in golf, so it's all offense.
Right. And you're by yourself. That's the 3 years I was the chairman of the women's golf committee for the NCAA. I will never forget this story. You can't have interaction with only one coach. At that time, I think it's 2 coaches now, but at the time only one coach. No parents, nobody else. And so I'm monitoring the course, and I come up on a hole, and a mother is out on the green taking a picture of her daughter putting. And so I said, ma'am, I think you need to get back. You need to be at least 30 feet away from all the participants. She said, but I'm a mother. And I said, but I'm the marshal. But it's great for those kids to, I always said the programs that we have, every single program is just as important as the other one.
That's right.
People talk about basketball and football on Friday nights. Well, golf on Friday afternoon is just important.
That's right.
Kids. And I think we need to make sure that we always make those things special for them.
That's right. Yeah, we've definitely worked to make sure that our kids have all they need, and it's exciting to see that we're getting more and more participation in those sports.
It is good because those are lifetime sports.
Right.
You know, those, golf, tennis, those things people can play long time.
And the majority of our schools are working with First Tee this year. Like Monroe and some of our junior highs even are working with First Tee and Janice Gibson. First Tee is actually going out to our schools and doing little small golf clinics, things like that, in the junior highs, hoping to entice kids to play as they get older. And then even our high school kids are working with First Tee as well to go out and practice. And of course, some of our kids that don't have golf clubs, those folks help get golf clubs for our kids. So, you know, we can't thank First Tee enough for all that they do, and that program is amazing.
It is an amazing program.
Of it.
I was fortunate to serve on that board for 9 years, and Janice does a tremendous job. Of course, a TPS Hall of Famer.
That's right.
From Nathan Hale High School, but she really cares about the kids. And I think the program that I like most about the First Tee is the academic portion of it.
That's right.
Where they have the ACT prep and SAT prep and everything. So those kids, when they get ready to go, they at least had an experience. I always said that's why my ACT score was so low, that I had no experience in taking the ACT.
True.
You know,
right.
and so important today. Though.
Right.
Anything else you want to mention?
You know, we're coming up with I'm sure Marlon's going to talk about our bike rally and things like that we've got coming up with Bike Club, and then we're just excited that spring's here and that we're in a position where we can have all of our sports and kids can be active, and that we're able to support them doing that.
It's a new attitude, it seems like, around all the programs, that we're almost back to normal.
Almost
back to normal. I think that's great. Well, Jen, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We'll have you again, I'm sure, sometime. And when we come back, we're going to have Marlon Houston, Assistant Athletic Director for the Tulsa Public Schools.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now our special guest, Marlon Houston, Assistant Athletic Director for Tulsa Public Schools. And Marlon, this is a busy time for you.
Spring is a busy time. I'm learning.
Well, you got tennis. Let's talk about tennis. How's the tennis program?
Tennis program is doing well. We have Edison and Memorial and Booker T. They've started. We started off the season with our all-city tennis tournament, and then now we're just midway through almost, and we have the Edison tournament coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, which would that be the 23rd of March, and then we also have Booker T. will have their tournament later on as well.
Well, that's good. The weather has been kind of iffy for outdoor activities. It seems like it's been tough, but hopefully we're toward the end of the week. We're supposed to have some good weather, and we'll be able to get those types of things in. You also are involved with the bike club.
Yeah, bike club. Matter of fact, we're planning for our end of the year bike club rally. On the elementary side, we have 19 schools that's going to participate. Going to be about 300 kids, maybe 100 sponsors, volunteers, so between 400 to 500. We're going to meet at Guthrie Green, and all the kids are going to ride police escort, of course, to the gathering place.
Oh my goodness. And
then we're going to have some activities and feed the kids and the sponsors there. So it's going to be a big to do, and that's going to be May the 11th.
May the 11th. How far is that?
I don't know how far it is. I looked at the flyer, and I decided I'm not riding a bike, so
we'll meet you at Guthrie.
I'm going to be carrying the lunches.
I see. All right. Well, that's been a really great program that's grown exponentially over the years. How many kids that have been able to learn how have bike safety and everything in the city of Tulsa have been amazing.
Our partners with the bike club is phenomenal. What they do and the outreach they give us, the support that they have, it's a phenomenal success.
Well, there's a passion there. There's no question about
yes, definitely
teaching kids, and of course, you know, a lot of kids don't have bikes these days, and so to have that opportunity to be able to ride and just learn streetwise, you know, who has the right of way and right turns and left turns and that type of thing is really, really important.
And they have different programs within the bike club to those students who need bikes. They have things worked out to where they'll get them a bike to have.
That's great. That's great. And don't they have a grade expectation that they have to be making their grades?
Yeah, they have some expectations, but they're fully working, dedicated to our third graders, and then they also work with our middle school.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's a good program. So what else do you have going this spring?
Well, next week, March 31st, we're having our all-city free throw finals. All right. So all of our elementaries who are participating, they're finding the top free throw shooter, male, top free throw shooter, female, girl, and we're all going to meet March 31st at Memorial High School's Veteran Arena. And then we're going to have a shootout to determine who's the best free throw shooter in the district.
Will that be by grades or just overall?
Yes, there's two divisions. There's a 3rd through 5th division, and then we're going to have the 6th grade in their own division.
Own division, yeah. A lot of difference in that age group.
Yeah, a lot of difference.
That'll be fantastic. How about how many people you think will win?
I'm not sure because, you know, the schools that want to participate, I'm estimating that we're going to have about 250 kids. Well, I mean, you got a possibility of having 4 students represent each elementary.
School. Yeah.
So if everyone jumps on board, especially with March Madness going on, so it'll be a good opportunity for our kids. And you know, also when our events, the ROTC or JROTC students, they help rally all of our students and judge the contest. So there's a lot of collaboration going on.
The ROTC does a great job.
Oh yeah,
that's been in our program. I don't know exactly why, but it's been in athletics at least for 10 years that I've been around this thing and known about it. So what's your big summer project?
Big summer project where there's a foundation I'm a part of, EPOS, and it's a sports foundation, and what they're doing is they're having a big sports camp at Oklahoma State University, and it's a 6-day span of camp. There's two different sessions, and they offer multiple sports in the different sessions. So like session 1, I got it written down here, is June 13th through the 15th, and you could attend football, baseball, girls basketball, boys and girls golf, and boys and girls tennis. And that's the first 3 days. The next 3 days, session 2, you can participate with softball, boys basketball, boys and girls soccer, boys and girls wrestling, and volleyball. And it's for students grades 7 through 12. It's if you live outside 50 miles, you could room and board, and you could go to 2 camps, 2 sessions, or 1, but it's just $99.
$99. And they can contact you at the Education
They could get a hold of me, or they could run a search on Facebook, EPOS.
EPOS. Well, great. Well, thanks for being here today.
Appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
When we come back, we'll have Mick Wilson, the Executive Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hills means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hill look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hill has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people, no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have the Executive Director of Athletics for the Tulsa Public Schools, Mick Wilson. Mick, glad you're here.
Thank you, Gil. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be back. And it's been some crazy times. This month has been crazy, but it's been a lot of fun. Fast
spring
and
break
furious.
and basketball and everything else. But well, let's talk about basketball first.
Wow, what can you say? It's just been another fun season. It was good to follow. Obviously, you've met some great folks here today that have had great success in basketball. But it was exciting to watch the Rogers girls with a lot of young players play really, really well. I think the future is going to be bright there for the next couple of years.
6 returners.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they really. I think from probably mid-season to the end of the season, I'm not sure any team that in our district or even here in the county or city got better than they did. They really showed a lot of improvement and played really hard and did a great job. And then, of course, watching the Booker T. Washington boys make a serious run and have a title contention there. And then, of course, our Memorial boys, following the great tradition, was able to win state championship number 10 in school history. So what can you complain about? It was an exciting time.
It was a good time. Our winter sports, I thought they did a great job. Had our first ever state championship girl wrestler.
We did, Gil, and that was exciting to watch, to see Samara do so well and represent Rogers as our first female state champion in wrestling. Hopefully they've got some returners there as well, so it's going to be exciting to see them kind of build their tradition in women's and girls wrestling. So
and we had a little bit of a renaissance, I think, in our swim program. Edison came up a little bit stronger than they have in the
They
past.
did, and surprised a lot of people. So our winter sports really, I think we are really proud of the growth, and then, like I said, the tradition of some of the schools have been able to continue to win and be successful has been really exciting for us.
Well, we get into spring, and boy, we had spring break, and I think we had a couple of teams that traveled a little bit and played, and then we're trying to get into the rest of the season this week, and we've got rain and cold weather, but it's supposed to be warm toward the end of the week, so hopefully we'll get that in.
Gil, it's been exciting to see the transition, and now that we've got some of our spring sports going, and Edison and Booker T boys baseball obviously looking pretty good and doing a good job, and then our soccer teams, East Central boys are going to be off and rolling. So we just need to get this weather behind us and move forward so that we have some good time to be able to get outside and watch some good games.
Yeah, that's the thing. Boy, this time of the year, we're in such a precarious situation with the weather, and it's day to day. People need to understand that sometimes there'll be late cancellations that we can't help, and because we want to take care of the health and safety of our student athletes, I think most of all.
That was a big thing yesterday. We made a decision just to call off all the junior high games, and then we ended up going ahead and asking all the high school people to reschedule their games and matches and things because of that. I mean, the weather moved in, it was real strong, and our biggest concern was just any lightning activity because, once you're out there and then the Thorgard alert, then you're off the field and you can go right back out after the alert and get another alert and have to go back in again. So it just makes for a long night a lot of times, and these kids need to get home and do homework and things like that anyway. And so it's hard to wait around on the weather sometimes. So sometimes it's just better to make that decision and move on and reschedule at a later date.
Any building projects that we have going on?
We're still moving along with East Central. We're finishing up Booker T. Washington baseball field, new backstop, dugouts getting redone. So that's going to be really nice. We're trying to work the schedule around so that they're able to complete that, new fence there. But the gym still seems to be right now. We're on schedule, believe it or not, at East Central for looks like it's going to be a September 1 opening. So it's going to be a really nice facility. Of course, the great thing about being some of these you're the last construction projects is you get to see where all the troubleshooting in our other gyms, and so many of them are along the same format. You kind of get to see where some areas that you can change or improve along the way. Right. So East Central is going to have the luxury of having the latest and greatest this time with new gymnasiums.
Should be a great facility for that part of Tulsa as well with the YMCA partnership.
It's exciting to see that. I think it's going to give the Y a presence in East Tulsa that they've never had. And one thing I'm looking forward to is being able to host some events there Gil, whether it's a tournament or OSSA activities there in the building, especially being right off I-44. It'll be very accessible.
Yeah.
With and that's going to have a large parking lot. It'll be much like what we have at Veterans Arena, where you're going to have easy parking and be able to get in and out of the building pretty convenient.
That'll be great. Well, on a sad note, we really need to mention that the passing of Larry Agee, our good friend, once from Eastern Orthopedic and now from Advanced Orthopedic, passed away Monday of apparent heart attack.
Gil, a longtime supporter of athletics in Tulsa, really statewide, but a strong presence here in Tulsa, whether it was EOC or now it's Advanced Orthopedic. Larry is a familiar face. He's helped a lot of people. He's followed a lot of sports. He's supported a lot of coaches, Gil, with different endeavors, and be someone that would be greatly missed. Again, a real figure, an icon in the athletic community here in the city of Tulsa and Tulsa County.
I made the statement that Larry Agee, to me, was the face of sports medicine. I first met him when I was at Union. He worked for us at Northeastern, and of course he worked for us here at Tulsa Public Schools, and he'll be greatly missed.
He will.
Unbelievable.
We just send out thoughts and prayers and sympathy to his family and his supporters and friends. And I know the doctors at Advanced Orthopedic are all going to miss him as well.
Big time. We'll be back with the closing after these statements.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
On our show today, we heard from two of our district's most successful basketball programs, Booker T. Washington and Memorial. These head coaches, Bobby Allison and Eli Brown, and the more than 340 coaches who coach in the Tulsa Public Schools are to be commended for their work that they do with our student athletes. We also had Dan Hawk from KOTV up here today. I want to remind you that the 10th annual TPS Athletics Hall of Fame banquet on June the 2nd at the Doubletree Hotel and the Legends Golf Tournament on June the 3rd at La Fortune Golf Course. You can make reservations for these two great fundraisers for the program by calling the athletic office at 918-746-6453. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode of Inside Tulsa Athletics.